all these rejections from the middle Bollinger Band.
Resistance we're going to need.
If you actually see here, we get a
And we'll look for a healthy higher
I
low.
would not
don't have
be
the
convinced
pullback
to
to
enter
cross
long
structure.
trade.
Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. We have a bear break on the shorter term time frames in Bitcoin. We'll look at in just a moment. A couple things I want to touch on before we get into Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and BCH. This is from Nugget's News. If you're not following him on YouTube, go check him out. But he compiled this and put it in a nice, easy format. But we have 9 Bitcoin ETF decisions in the next 6 weeks. It's absolutely something you want to be aware of. Again, the market should not be anticipating any of them to pass. That's not the most likely scenario. But we are likely to see some reactions, and that's because Bitcoin reacts to a lot. And I was very surprised with how significant the reaction was on the last delay, especially because of how much we had pulled back already. But that's just another reminder we need to be paying attention. So August 23rd here approaching, we have the 2x ProShares ETF, and then September 15th, we have a couple more. So we're going to keep an eye on these dates and how the price is going to react. Another thing I want to point out is I talked about the ETF versus the ETN in the last video, and we now have this ETN for Bitcoin, and I said that the ETN does not purchase shares to back it, and that's normally the case, but it looks like in this instance, and thanks to one of the viewers for pointing it out, but on the website it does say that they will be backing up the shares purchasing these ETNs with actual Bitcoin, so it does have an ETF-like effect. And again, today is the 4th day of trading of this new ticker, at least on the US exchanges. So it is something we're keeping an eye on, and it will have the same effect or a similar effect that an ETF will, but it's obviously not getting the same amount of attention or hype at this point. So let's look at Bitcoin. We have a clear rejection from daily exponential resistance, and we're now looking at the bulls having to form a higher low. So the bears have been in control of the daily and weekly trend. We're not surprised by the direction of the break. We left it up to the bulls to prove it to us, and they didn't do it. So we had an inside bar bear break on the daily time frame. That bear break occurred at 63.28, and we dropped a quick $100 below that level. So even just trading on that inside bar alone was a profitable enough trade for the bears to get into. So at this point, the bulls' backs are against the wall. We have to form a higher low compared to 5,900, and that's the only hope for the bulls, a higher low and then a bull break of 66.36. It is absolutely possible. It could happen. But again, what's the most likely scenario? The most likely scenario that the bears are showing us is that they are currently keeping control. And you see the volume dropping off as we got tighter and tighter. We see that bull spike in volume leading to the break. And we're looking down now back to that 6,000 psychological level. So 4-hour time frame gave us clear lower highs. We had the double top, lower high, lower high, lower high, bear break. The whole while we had higher lows forming. And I don't usually draw trend lines. I generally can just see them visually. I guess that's my sixth sense. But that's where I would put that there, just because all the wicks do line up so well, and a very clear bear break and spike in volume. So checking in on the hourly time frame, again, how oversold did we get? Can we be looking for oversold bounces? The hourly chart is just getting oversold on that RSI. The 15-minute RSI did drop down under 20. So again, short-term bounces are approaching, but I'm not going to be looking for those because, again, it's trading against the trend, and I'm just going to wait for things to settle out. We're still within a range. We're within that 5,900 to 6,600 range, and we're probably going to trade within this range for the rest of the week. I would not be surprised unless we saw some kind of news event. But overall, it's a lot of space to trade in, and we haven't been seeing a ton of volume or a ton of volatility. So we're going to keep an eye on it, but the bears are in control of the short term. Much more significant pullback on Ethereum. We're approaching that low of 250.28, and there's not a whole lot of support until that level. So a clear bounce and rejection from exponential resistance. Again, the bulls' backs are against the wall. They have to form a higher low and then break 30 or 322. Otherwise, they prove absolutely nothing. The bears are still in control. The 4-hour time frame, again, clear a little higher lows, breaking bearish. Bear break occurred here at 292.66. If you wanted to be more picky, it was at 283.10. And again, just lower highs. The bull didn't prove anything to us. No fake outs, no nothing. Just plain old technical analysis, tightening ranges, clear bear breaks. That's where we stand right now. Litecoin, same thing. Daily time frames trying to form the higher low. That's all the bulls have going for them. Support is 43.33. Resistance is 62.60. And the exponential resistance rejected the price here. Clear bear break on the 4-hour time frame. Pretty much looks exactly like Ethereum and the bear volume coming in. And BCH, to wrap it up, again, all very similar at this point. We had a very significant pullback. The bulls are trying to hold 473. We also have 500 psychological to be watching. The clear bear break here with a tightening range. Break of 556 was a clear signal. Big spike in volume. 6 red candlesticks in a row on the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour chart's almost getting oversold here. So the hourly on BCH is more oversold than Bitcoin, and the hourly on ETH is a bit more oversold than Bitcoin as well. So keep that in mind. Those RSI levels can get a bit more extended because Bitcoin is not as beat up as they are. And right now it is a successful night for the bears. And as a bull, I'm patiently waiting, and I'm in no rush to do anything, to be honest. As long as we're within that range on Bitcoin that I just pointed out, it's going to be easygoing and patience. So that was nice and quick and easy. That's where we stand. Now we want to see 4-hour lower highs and lower lows on, if you're a bear, obviously. And if you are a bull, you have to break the 4-hour lower highs for the bulls to start to prove anything. And we're not near doing that. So I got a lot of videos to catch up on late night tonight, and don't have any end of the day videos for this video as I'm running low, but I will create some content. Some lesson that I had yesterday. I took my camera out. Last night was the best sunset since I've been in the Keys down here in 7 weeks or so. And it was just, lightning storm and big rain clouds and crazy colors all over the place. And I brought my camera and I didn't bring the memory card. And so it was a reminder to me about positive visualization. And I'm a big believer in, being positive and visualizing the things that I want and working towards those goals. And I feel like it's had a very significant impact in my trading career, as well as with the Chart Guys' success, starting a business. And that's definitely, there's all different kinds of spectrums and what you can believe on that. The one side of the spectrum thinks it's energetic vibrations going out into the universe and, it being brought back to you. And if you want to be more logical about it, you can just say, well, I didn't remind my subconscious. So at the end of the video yesterday, I said, I keep forgetting to bring my camera. It's not something that I remember to do. And it was all negative affirmation of what my actions had been. Whereas if I had said, I've been forgetting my camera, but I'm not going to forget it anymore. I'm going to remember it now. I bet having that little trigger in my subconscious would have had me check everything and make sure that I have everything. And I think little subtle differences like that, again, it doesn't have to be in the spiritual realm of, belief, and maybe it is, but it can be in the logical realm as well, just psychologically. If I say something and visually, or I should say verbally affirm it, it becomes more real because it's settling in my subconscious. I'm saying it, I'm hearing it back. And I think that that is a very powerful thing. So it's a kind of how you can apply that to trading, where people say, oh man, my stop loss level always gets triggered and then the bounce occurs. And if you have that kind of mindset and you keep having that thought pattern, it's probably going to keep happening. Whereas if the opposite reaction would be, man, it keeps hitting my stop level, I need to get better at this. I need to tighten my skills. I need to fix this so this doesn't happen. It's a completely different approach and a completely different outcome in most cases, in my opinion. So I hope you all continue to do good things out there. Going to be heading to Austin later this week, or right around the weekend, and that should delay. That'll change. I'm going to be traveling a bunch in September, and that's going to start changing the timing of videos. It's not going to be as routine, but I will still get to them as I can, and we'll get to them most days, and I'll let you know when I don't. So I'll see you tomorrow, and I hope you have a good night.